So I can get caught on a question for weeks where I'll be asking myself, what am I doing with my life? Is this really the right path to take? And recently I was thinking about maybe advice I'd gotten in the past about how to deal with it when you get stuck on a question. And I thought of the answer. It has to do with the number two pencil. Yes, back to those standardized test days, where at the beginning of the test they would tell you, if you don't know the answer, mark it and skip it, then proceed to the next question. You can come back to it at the end if you have time. Well, I threw that advice away as fast as I threw away my number two pencil after those tests. I actually need that pencil to finish the test, so shouldn't have thrown that away. But anyway, I actually think that it's a really good advice to think about because we can get caught up on questions for months, for years. You can ask, is this the right thing to do or is it not? I did that with my website, thosestories.com, where I wanted to do this for years, but I just kept asking, what's the right way to do it? Should we test it out a lot of times? If you're watching these videos, you're probably thinking, well, it doesn't seem like it, and that's because I'm finally acting. I am skipping the questions, and I will come back to them later. Of course, personally, I never really liked that strategy in test taking. What would happen is that I would forget to mark a question that I skipped, fill out the rest of the Scantron, and then realize that I'd missed a question, have to go back and erase all of the bubbles. I have handwriting that's really dark, and so that was really hard. And then go back and fill them all in. So make sure you're marking it. Make sure you're coming up with a way to check back in at some point. But it's fine to skip it. We don't have to have all the answers. We were given this idea a long time ago, and the answers might change, and that's fine. You know what changed a lot? Standardized tests in public schools, and look how we all turned out. Unless you're somewhere else, and then just be glad if that was not the education experience that you got. So thank you, American education system. I think you've given us all something useful. I also know how to fill in my bubbles really well, the one time a year I do it, on my ballot.